For our Algebra 2 last unit practice test, page 3, we're solving equations. Look at number 9. We have to get restrictions first and foremost. We always have to pay attention to that. The only denominators are x plus 1. Ask yourself what would bring a 0 to that denominator if you plugged in a certain x value. The x plus 1, if you plugged in a negative 1, that would get you into trouble. So at this point, we cannot cross multiply because we have three distinct parts to this equation, not just a proportion. A fraction equals a fraction. Our LCD needs to be found. It's x plus 1. And we're going to multiply every part of the problem by x plus 1. Now, when you multiply by x plus 1, some good things are going to happen. What you're going to see is every fraction is going to disappear. You have x plus 1's on top and down below for the fraction on the right side and that other fraction on the left. Here we're going to distribute. We'll get 2x plus 2. Here's a minus 8. We can very quickly combine our like terms. 2 minus 8 becomes a negative 6. Tell you what, I'm going to subtract a 2x from both sides, leaving me with negative 6 on the left, right here, equals 2x. When I divide by 2, I'll get x equals negative 3. Now please remember, you should be checking your restriction. We are actually okay. Down below for number 10, please understand something. There's only one restriction. It's that x cannot equal 5. Sometimes kids look over at the 4 and they'll say, oh, a restriction of negative 4 should also come in. But guys, that's not right. 4 in this right-hand side is always going to be a 4. Even if I let x equal negative 4, this thing wouldn't become a 0. This over here would have become a negative 9. And that would be okay. But look, I'm going to cross multiply. That's all you got to do here. 4 times x minus 1 equals 3 times x minus 5. Let's distribute. We get 4x minus 4. Here I'll get 3x minus 15. I'm going to minus a 3x on both sides. We'll have x minus a 4 equals negative 15. I'm going to add a 4 to both sides to get x equals negative 11. There was only one restriction here. You can see that restriction was x could not equal 5. We're okay. Guys, take a look at number 11. Very different problem here, but it's well worth talking about. Sometimes kids will say, oh, I get it, 2 restrictions. X can't be negative 2 or negative 4. Guys, there are none. There are no restrictions for this problem. The denominator on the left is always a 2. The denominator on the right is always a 4. No matter what I'm plugging in for x, I won't change anything. So I'm going to take 4 times 3 minus x, cross multiplying. 2 times x plus 5, cross multiplying. Let's distribute. We'll get 12 minus 4x. Over here we'll get 2x plus 10. Tell you what, I'm going to add a 4x. 2x plus 4x will get me 6x. And then I'm going to actually subtract that 10. And I'll get 2 is equal to 6x. When I divide by a 6, please understand 2 divided by 6 is not a 3. It's 1/3. You gotta be careful when the denominator is bigger than the numerator. You don't have a whole number, obviously. You have x is equal to 1/3. No restrictions. That's your one and only answer. For number 12, there's only one restriction that we need to worry about. Look at that denominator. X cannot equal negative 3. What's your LCD? Least common denominator? That is x plus 3 itself. and I'm going to multiply every part of this problem by x plus 3. And hopefully you're going to see real good things are about to happen. What am I talking about? Well, every fraction is going to get canceled. These x plus 3's are going to cancel. These x plus 3's are going to cancel. And you'll have 4x plus a 12. Here you just have a minus 3. The right side you just have a 5. 12 minus 3 is actually a 9. So you have 4x plus 9 is equal to 5 minus a 9 on both sides. 4x was equal to negative 4. You divide by a 4, x equals negative 1. That's your final answer. You're not dealing with your restriction. The only x value you can't have is negative 3. Sometimes kids wonder, though. A couple of kids were talking and they said, well, wait a minute, this is 4 over 1. Isn't there a restriction that x cannot equal negative 1? Actually, no. Remember, that denominator, no matter what you let x equal, that's not going to change. So the final answer really is x equals negative 1.